The haunting folklore of a lonely mountain lake. As you ascend the Black Mountains, you confront the glacial stillness of Llyn y Fan Fach. Beyond the ripples of the lake, I attempt to bridge the gap between Iron Age herbal traditions and the haunting Welsh mythology, whilst I try and understand how this desolate water became a portal for ancient herbalist wisdom. These solemn dark peaks with their ancient glacial lakes are guarding a secret centuries old. It's a place where a tragic pact was made by a woman not of our world, leaving behind a legacy of healing that defies modern explanation. Now, this lake is a stunning remote glacial lake set beneath the steep dramatic crags of the Carmarthenshire Black Mountains in the Brecon Beacons, and it's overlooked by several prominent mountain peaks which I can't pronounce, and known for its wild beauty and Welsh folklore. Apparently on a good day these mountains can be seen from Glastonbury Tor in Somerset. Now, the lake was enlarged by construction of a dam during World War I, and labour was initially provided by some 175 navvies, but the hard working conditions resulted in their departure, and replacement was 150 conscientious objectors who lived in barracks and the local families. And the sand for the construction was sourced on the south side of the lake and rafted to the dam. It's also been the site of a couple of movies, one of them of which was Stardust, 2007 fantasy film, and it starred Michelle Pfeiffer, Henry Cavill, Robert De Niro and Ricky Gervais. Now, the story of the Lady of the Lake begins with Gwyn, a shepherd who lived with his mother in a nearby farm. One of his tasks was to lead the cattle to pasture. One of his favourite places was Llyn y Fan Fach, and he'd sit on a rock at the edge of the lake, staring into the dark water as he ate his lunch. But on this particular day he spotted an otherworldly beauty who was named Nelfurch, sitting on a rock on the opposite side of the shore. He was enchanted by this mysterious lady, and he courted her by leaving various offerings each day. And eventually, after various attempts and a perfectly baked loaf of bread, she agreed to marry him. Now, her father, a fairy king, blessed the union, but gave the husband an ominous warning. He must never strike her 3 times, or she'll have to return to the lake. So the couple married and were very happy, and eventually had 3 sons. However, over the years, the husband accidentally caused her to be struck 3 times. The first time was at a christening when she wept at the tragedy of the world and he tapped her shoulder. The second time was at a wedding when she was laughing at the foolishness of life, and an innocent tap again was counted as a strike. And the third was an accidental gentle tap on the shoulder during an outing. Even though she was heartbroken, Nelfurch knew she had to fulfill the ancient prophecy and walk back to the lake. As she did so, she called out to the livestock she had brought with her, and even the oxen in the surrounding fields followed her straight into the icy waters of the lake, never to be seen again. And the oxen, being still attached to the plough, left a furrow leading to the lake, which is still there today. There are 2 slightly different versions of the legacy left behind by the Lady of the Lake. One says that Gwyn was left behind to raise the 3 sons on his own. The father eventually received visits from his fairy wife, who emerged from the cold waters to secretly teach the boys about herbalism and medicine, and the boys grew up to be the famous physicians of Middevi, a lineage of legendary healers whose historical medical texts are still celebrated in Wales today. The second sadder version is that Gwyn, heartbroken, followed Nelfurch into the cold dark waters and drowned. deciding he didn't want to live without her. And with their father dead and their mother returned, the boys spent many hours at the lakeside mourning the loss of their parents. And at the height of their despair, their mother came to them, walking calmly and purposefully out of the lake to stand with them and embrace them. She told the boys that they had an important mission on Earth, to help relieve the suffering and pain of mankind. So, leading them to an ancient place called the Physician's Dingle, she taught them all about the healing properties of the plants of the earth. She showed them how to prepare potions and balms to relieve pain and suffering. When she had taught them all of the healing arts of the other world, she embraced each boy in turn and returned to the lake, never to be seen again. Now, these sons of Nelfurch are among the few humans to trace their lineage back to the other world, and they diligently applied their arts that their mother had taught them to heal pain and suffering wherever they found it. And their fame and reputation as great healers spread far and wide, became known as the physicians of Midvale. Now, I suppose you've got to spare a final thought to Nelfurch. It could easily be forgotten in this story, but coming from the other world, she loved as they loved in the other world and grieved as they grieved, in ways that humans can't understand. And when you think about it, being an immortal being, her love and grief will not diminish or fade, but stay with her all through the long bittersweet ages of eternity. And some visitors say the pain and sadness can be felt when you're visiting the lake even today. And when I was reading the full story, the one I've just told is just abbreviation, it got me wondering about how the Iron Age folk passed down their medical knowledge and information. And I wondered if the folklore and stories functioned as an encoded memory. Did healers and shamans use mythical tales, charms and plant names to pass down complex herbal compendiums across the ages? Yeah, I wondered if oral folklore traditions might ensure the vital knowledge survived, because they didn't have any texts or anything to write it down with. And I managed to find out that anthropological and ethnobotanical research does actually show that ancient folklore and myths acted as complex encoded memory systems, and myths often acted as memory palaces. Yeah, because they didn't have text, or none that we know about, they utilised narrative traditions to preserve the survival of critical knowledge, including plant proportions, treatments and dosages. And they say that many plants fundamentally to Iron Age health became embedded in local folklore and mythology, and that framing medicine with taboo or magical folklore ensured that strict instructions, such as the timings of harvest, precise proportions, methods like boiling or ash extraction, were followed. Now, just over the ridge is another lake, which is known as the Great Lake of the Peak. It's another natural lake, and it lies at the foot of Anbriciniog, the highest peak in the Black Mountains. And there was a 17th century manuscript that noted that the waters were believed to be entirely fishless and toxic to aquatic life. And local archives say that in 1954 the lake famously overflowed its banks following a massive storm and subterranean upheaval. And on the summit between the two lakes is a Bronze Age barrow, or possibly a cairn, which has a central stone kist similar to that on the nearby summit of Corndew. And when it was excavated, they found cremated remains, a rare belt hook, and impressions of meadow sweet flowers, suggesting that floral tributes were used during the burials. And there is a couple of other cairns up on the top on that ridge as well, overlooking Fan Fach cairn. And also at Llyn y Fan Fach, there's standing stones. and they're not mentioned on any archaeological text, but they don't look natural. They look like they've been placed there.